see what I found today. Okay. Last week, I said that I saw a mug that said haunted at Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And I didn't want to buy it because it was too shiny. But then I saw this and I had to buy it because it has a haunted house. I mean, come on. To keep my coffee nice and warm. And might I add, I'm drinking decaf because last weekend I did not and I could not sleep. So, get your favorite drink, get cozy, because we're about to read some ghost stories. Reddit itself kind of scares me. So, this first one is about a Samoan ghost. And for whatever reason, anytime I see ghost stories outside of the United States, I feel like they're a little scarier. It's a little more mysterious. So, this is about a Samoan ghost. In 2017, I went on holiday to Samoa with my family and my girlfriend. We were staying at my aunt's house, which is a combination of a Samoan villa and a normal house. One late morning, around 2 to 3, my girlfriend woke me because she had to go to the bathroom, and she was too scared to go. The bathroom was down a long hallway around the corner from my room. At the end of the hallway, on the left, was the bathroom, and on the back wall of the hallway was the sink, and then on the right side of the wall was a mirror. What made this hallway even more creepy was the white light above the sink. So I'm walking outside the door while my girlfriend is in the bathroom. She finishes and then she goes back into our bedroom. I go in, I take my turn to do my business, and I come back into the hallway to wash my hands at the sink. But while I'm washing, I look to my right and glance into the mirror, and this, dude, is where you went wrong. You looked in the mirror at nighttime. As I turned around to walk back down the hallway, about 5 feet in front of me is this woman, and I only saw her for a split second before she disappeared, but I swear the image of her is still stuck into my head, clear as day. She was wearing a white sleeping gown and had pale arms and legs and frizzy black hair that covered her face. I jolted up and banged my head against the wall, and goosebumps ran all over my body. My heart was pounding. I knew I had to walk through the place that she was just standing. So quickly, I dashed back to my room. Would you walk through where you just saw a ghost? And I think you're hearing my dog snore, so don't worry, that's not a ghost. Would you go? I would not. I think I would probably lock myself in the bathroom, wake the whole house up, and have someone come and get me. So, I ran back into my room. I've never jumped into the sheets so quickly. My girlfriend asked me what the banging sound was, and I told her I saw a ghost. I saw a freaking ghost. My heart was thumping so hard and loud, and she was concerned that I was going to have a heart attack. And I'm a pretty healthy next morning, my family are all at the breakfast table eating, and I tell them about the ghost I saw. All my cousins, my aunts, my uncles are all mocking me, and they're like, no, you're just seeing things, ghosts aren't real, the usual. But I noticed that my dad wasn't saying anything at all. After breakfast, we were getting ready to head out for the day, and my dad pulled me aside. He said, "Did you really see a ghost last night?" And I said, "Yeah." Why would I lie? My dad replied, "I believe you." I asked him, "Why do you believe me? No one else does." And he said, "Because I saw 3 black shadows standing at the end of my bed." I was never a big believer in ghosts until this day, and sometimes I still question if what I saw was real. But every now and then I ask my dad to make sure I'm not crazy that he did actually see a ghost. 3. I had the story on my mind a lot and wanted to get it out there. So, I thought that was a little creepy. Shadows, or like the thought of seeing something at the end of your bed, like ghosts getting you at a vulnerable point like that, it just freaks me out. Like, no, don't come and visit me when I'm asleep. Don't come and visit me when I'm in the bathroom. Like, let's have a surprise encounter somewhere else. You know what I mean? I don't need you coming when I'm in my bed all cozy and ready to hit the hay. Here is another one. So, this person says that my family and I have been renting our current place for almost a year, but we sign a new lease next month. When we moved in, we were unaware that the previous owners had passed away in the same home, but we were informed months after living here when we asked our landlord about its history. For about 4 months, all 6 of us have experienced some unsettling stuff. Myself, personally, I've seen black shadowy type figures in the corner of my eye when I look towards the movement. There's nothing there. I felt cold spots in the home quite frequently. I've seen curtains move slightly. I would always tell my husband about it, but he said that I was probably making it up in my head. But recently he finally acknowledged the fact that something weird has been going on here, and he has now started seeing the same stuff that I've been seeing. So just now, I'm sitting at the breakfast nook in front of where our kitchen bar is. My husband is on the couch in front of me. My 19-year-old is in the main dining room beside the kitchen. We are the only 3 people in this home. I have a plain view of his bedroom door. And here's the creepiest thing I have seen so far. I watched his door handle move downward, and his door very slowly opened. My entire body froze up. I tried to tell my husband what was happening, but I couldn't even speak, and my entire body is filled with goosebumps. After I regained my composure, I walked to my son's bedroom, and as I knew it, there was no one in there. I'm completely freaked out. I can't even go back into the house. I'm sitting on my back deck as I write this. Have you ever seen a door open by itself? I can't say. Yeah, I can't say that I've seen a door open. this one. What is happening on my farm? My farm has been in my family's name since the 1700s, and it was built on a Native American burial ground. I know that's always what people say, but I'm 100% serious. All throughout my childhood, I've heard stories passed down from my ancestors. Stories like our livestock disappearing, names being called from the tree line, you know, the normal ghost stories you get told by the campfire. I always thought they were just that, just stories. But then something happened yesterday, and it changed my mind completely. While I was trying to sleep, watching Seinfeld, like I always do. Not a bad choice, by the way. You a fan of Curb? Love Curb. The dogs began to go crazy, which is pretty normal, but then I started to hear whimpers. As soon as I hear these whimpers, a scream started. But it was like no scream I've ever heard in my life. It was high pitch and low pitch at the same time. Is that even possible? I immediately grabbed my 12 gauge and I ran outside as fast as I could, but then everything just went still. There was no screaming, no barking. Even the cicadas stopped chirping. It was the most terrifying quiet I've ever experienced. I turned on my phone light and started scanning the perimeter of the dog pen when I noticed whispering from the tree line. It was a weird whisper, like it was beckoning to me to come closer. But it was not in a language that I could understand. So, as any sane person would do, I immediately ran inside and locked the doors and double-checked that the windows were locked. As soon as I got inside, all the noises started again. The cicadas, the dogs, everything was normal. And as I went upstairs, I had a terrible feeling of being watched, and I just couldn't sleep. I haven't slept since then, and I'm terrified of what may happen tonight. Someone please tell me what's going on. I think that living in the middle of nowhere can be quite stressful and scary. There's like not a lot of civilization. Sounds of the street. It leaves way first. I turned on the TV. I ran the dishwasher all night long to have some ambient sound. And the next day, I went to a culture shop and I bought some crystals and some sage and some Palo Santo, and I cleansed the whole house top to bottom. And as I cleansed, I just prayed, and I also spoke with, if there are any spirits in the house, like, anything that's evil must leave, anything that's not from God and love and light must leave. If you are something that has lived here before, you may stay, but here's the deal, I don't want to see you, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to smell you, and you don't have to see me, hear me, smell me, like, we can live here in harmony if we never interact. And nothing happened after that. But what was interesting, and I don't know that it's correlated, but mostly just about the energy of the home, is right before we moved out, I learned from the neighbor that a man and his mother used to live in the house, and he had a really bad drug problem. And there was even a time that the police had to come and get him because he was running around in the woods in the back of the house, naked as a jaybird. And when he would go on his drug rampages, he also had been known to beat his mom as well, which is really sad. And there was one point that his mom was put into the hospital because of it. And the neighbor said there was a day that he noticed that the front door of the house was open and their dog was sitting on the patio. He didn't think much of it, but the next day he noticed that the door was still open and the dog was still on the patio. So he went up to the house to see if everything was okay, but there was no one there. Come to find out, the mom had gone to the hospital, and he does not know. I'm not sure if she went because she was beaten by her son again, or if it was for another reason, but she passed away. So, and the son, I believe, since is now in jail. Weird, right? So did that energy create something in the home because my hair was pulled? Or was there an older spirit